All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. I am just trying to figure out how to get my chat to appear up here on the screen. Clean up a little bit of my windows here. Let's see here.
Real men eat meat, they said. Veganism and strength don't go together, they said.
All right, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, we're going to be doing a live unboxing of Marvel United today. Pretty much all of the gameplay content. So all the boxes, all the expansions. I'm going to be, putting some miniatures up on here, which I can switch to a screen to show them more close up here in between when I'm like bringing boxes out and things like that. So if there is a specific miniature you'd like to see close up, or a card I can throw up there, let me know. If there's a specific box you'd like to see next, I'll probably do the stretch goal box next, and then I will do just go through the expansions one by one. So this is the base box. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because plenty of people have seen this. This has been out for a while. I decided to do single wave shipping for this one because I felt a little burnt by come on after the original X-Men United and having to surprise pay for 2-wave shipping for that one. And I'm kind of glad I did. CMON is slowly starting to just irk me more and more. It's interesting that I received this pledge before I still haven't received my Massive Darkness pledge. And I really don't understand why, if they're putting these on a boat and getting them across the ocean, why didn't they first put the remaining Massive Darkness containers on that boat and push them across the ocean? It really kind of baffles me. I know I'm not in like shipping logistics. It's not my job. But anyways, so I'm not really going to go through the rules or anything like that. If you're familiar with Marvel United, you should be able to jump right in. If you are not, this is basically like a play a card from your hand type of game, and you do the actions that are on the bottom of the card. Those actions are going to be like move, punch, do a heroic action. Sometimes there's going to be unique text. What's fun about this game is that when you lay down a card, the next hero to go after you gets to use your 2 symbols on the card immediately to their left. So you got to kind of think, all right, what is the person coming after me going to need, as well as what do I need? There's a lot of tokens in the game just to kind of track thugs and bystanders. These are double-sided, which is nice. So the bystanders are on one side, thugs on the other. But you basically kind of have to run around and accomplish certain mini goals before you can even attempt to take on the boss at the end. And again, it's very easy to learn to play. It's just very basic symbology. Once you've gotten that down, you're all set. So I play this with my kids all the time. Even my at the time when we started playing, he was only 5. He's now 6. And other than having to help him read the special text on some of the cards, he understands, he gets it. So this is the villain dashboard. That's not very exciting. We're going to toss that aside. But here you can see there are technically 4 villains in this game. Looking in at the box, you'll see that 2 of them are purple and 2 of them are red. And that's because the red guys, they're just evil. They can't be turned either way. But purple players are going to have the ability to play as either good guys or bad guys. So they're going to have a villain dashboard, and they're also going to have cards in here to play heroically. So this is unique to Marvel United X-Men. This was not something that they put into the original Marvel United. So things like Magneto here and Mystique, they can be played as heroes. So just a quick look at these types of cards here. Again, I'll probably not look at every single card, but if there is a, if you want to leave in the chat, if there's a specific villain card you want to take a closer look at, I'll throw it up on the other camera, and it'll can just sit there for a little while so you can read through it. But essentially, you know, there's some scaling over here of health, depending on how many heroes you're playing with. This is not a true solo game because you have to play with at least 2 heroes, but it is super easy to play 2-handed. It's super easy to play 3-handed. I don't think I've ever played 4-handed, but I actually really prefer to play 3-handed because of the way the turn structure goes. You get 3 hero actions, 3 hero turns, and then the villain turn. And so it's like boom, 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 my 3 characters go, and then the villain. It's very easy to keep track of. And then every villain has some special rules. They have a BAM effect, which certain parts of their cards are going to have the BAM on it, and so that happens. This tells you how they're winning or losing, and this tells you what happens if they tell you to put out a bystander or a thug, and that location is filled up. So you can see each one of these guys has a very unique special rules, structure, plot, BAM effect, everything like that. You will see eventually here that some of them actually have like a tracker on this board, and that's how they get to the point where they are going to win. And then actually let's do this real quick. Let's pull Red Skull off of here. He was my just kind of marker for keeping up with where to aim the camera. Throw up some of the baddies here. Just a little bit. There we go. So we'll let those guys sit up there for a little while. And we'll take a look at some of the locations. So these are going to be spread around the board in a circle. One of the things I did pledge in this version is the playmat, which is a circular playmat. I didn't pledge it in Marvel United because I didn't feel like I would get a lot of use out of it, because it essentially was always facing the locations away from you. Well, they did a backside for this one, for the X-Men version, and you can play it so they're all facing one direction for solo play. So I decided, okay, I like that now. But essentially these are going to be splayed around, you'll randomly deal some out, and they're going to be going around that villain dashboard in a circle. And so that everyone that's adjacent to another one on the clock, everything to its right and left, clockwise and counterclockwise, you can move to. And that's one movement. So that's how you move around the board. And you can see here there's a very light symbol of the bystander, or for example here there's 2 bystanders and a thug. This is who starts on this location at the beginning of the game. So you'll kind of seed each location at the beginning of the game based on the location. But then after that, once you wipe or rescue, not wipe out, once you rescue this bystander, bystanders or thugs can fill up these slots. It doesn't matter. But if these slots are all full and you're told to add more, then you have to deal with the overflow effect of the villain. Also, each villain is going to have cards covering up little mini missions that you have to take care of. They're going to be here covering this up. But then once you clear those mini missions, a lot of these locations have positive effects that give you little bonuses. For example, this one, if you end your turn here, another hero in this or an adjacent location may draw a card. Your cards in your hand are your health. If you run out of cards in your hand, your hero is knocked out. Nobody's ever dead in the game, you're just knocked down. So here are the locations for this particular one. So example here, the X-Jet. If you end your turn on the X-Jet, you can actually move to another location. Thematically that makes sense because it's the X-Jet. Asteroid M. Weapon X facility. And again, we're not going to go through every single one of these locations in this much detail, but I'm just making sure if you are new to Marvel X-Men United, for example here, the Xavier Institute of Higher Learning, aka X-Men School, if you end your turn here, you can draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. It's really, it's like a rest action. All right, so that's all the locations. And then let's pull these guys off here and show you guys some of the heroes. Put her back there. And Wolverine. If you did do the Uncanny pledge, which is basically the all of the gameplay content, and you got all the 2 Kickstarter exclusive, you actually, I believe, have like 3 versions of Wolverine. You got Wolverine, Logan, and Old Man Logan. You may even have 4. Trying to think. Yeah, we might see one here in like the first class. I think we might see some in the first class. So let's look at the cards real quick, at least in this box, just to cover some of the differences that they've added to Marvel United X-Men that's going to have them be make this expansion in what I feel like is better than the original. So first thing is that every hero is going to have a starting card. So no matter what, this card is going to start in your hand. And this is obviously one of your unique cards. It's got some unique text here, healing factor, as long as this card is face up in the storyline. If you have less than 3 cards in your hand at the end of the villain turn, you may draw a card. So his self-regeneration mutant ability. And when they mean storyline, that means you're going to place that card down and on the player board. Unfortunately, I was talking about this earlier, I haven't received my playmat yet. I received all the boxes, and the playmats always ship separately. I received the shipping notification, but it still just says FedEx is awaiting the package. So what I feel like happened is that they created the label when they created the label for the boxes, and my playmat is sitting on a boat somewhere in the Pacific. So, but the storyline is essentially you lay out the cards, and that's the only drawback of the game really, is that to play it properly, it takes up a lot of space because you got to have this huge line of cards, which is why they created a circle. And you just place the cards around the circle, and that's the storyline. And so really, you want to get this out early, but also there's not a whole lot going on this card. This isn't the best card to play as your first turn because it only has 1 symbol down here. It's not giving you anything instantly, and then the person who comes after you is only getting 1 symbol to share. But you want this in the storyline as long as possible. And unless there's a villain effect that removes things from the storyline, pretty much it's going to be there the whole game. So beyond that, this is what the majority of the cards look like. Basically just 2 symbols on here. This is the move symbol, this is the heroic action symbol. Use this to complete missions, rescue bystanders, things like that. Or there's like this one, move and punch. This is what you use to attack the villain when you can and defeat thugs on the board. This one's just move. This one's just punch. This one's double punch. And every character's deck is slightly unique in that manner, and that for the original Marvel United, Hulk had a lot of punches in his deck. Someone like Falco had a lot of movement in his deck. And so really it's all just double symbols at the bottom, and this one's a wild. And then there's a double wild in here. If you want to play the game more difficult, on a difficult setting, you would remove this card from the deck, and super difficult, you would remove this one from the deck. And then each character has a few of these unique ones here. Like he's got Adamantium Claws, which is double punch after a move. Only he gets to use this top portion. So the person who comes after him will get to use the move, but they won't get to use the double punches because those are specifically for Wolverine. So anything in this arrow down here is what you are sharing, which is why this card is not that great, but great for Wolverine. So there's that. So let's see if we can't go through here and just find what the starting card is. Well, see, Storm doesn't have one that's listed as a starting card, but she is going to have a couple ones. So here Storm can double punch at any location. So it doesn't matter if she's across the board, she can punch thugs or villains no matter where they are. Goddess of Weather, relocate any heroes to different locations. That's amazing. And Goddess of Weather. So she doesn't have a starting card. I guess I was wrong in the assumption that all of the characters had a specific starting card. But let's look through here. Xavier does not. Xavier, however, has telepathy. Choose another hero. You can swap any number of cards from their hand with the cards in the storyline. That's an amazing effect. Turn up to 2 at your location into... Turn 2 thugs into 2 bystanders, basically. Double punch tokens. And when they say tokens here, you're basically giving these tokens. That's what these are for over here. And these will just sit in front of somebody, and it's like they can play them and use them as a symbol on their turn. So they actually do more than what's just on the card. You don't get to share tokens, though. They're only for you to use. But if he's passing out tokens, then you know, that's just helping somebody. So here Mystique has 2. So this is interesting. You know, she's got a double starting hand. And let's see what hers are. Okay, Metamorph. On the next villain turn, you may redirect any damage dealt to you to a henchman or in a location. On your next villain turn, you may redirect any damage dealt to you. Henchman, location. Okay, so this one doesn't have like a sit in the storyline, but it works. These are her hero cards. Remember, she's got villain cards and she's got hero cards. And they say that you're going to start every game with these. So that's that. Unless there is a specific set of cards people want to see, there's lots of unboxing videos of the base game here. So we're just going to quickly take a look at the other cards just to show off what else might be here in these boxes. So these are going to help you clear certain missions here. You know, these, you have to fill this up with thugs or civilians or clear threats. Once you've completed 2 out of the 3, that's when you can attack the villain. That's pretty standard. That's from the original game. And then here we have, so this is Magneto's villain cards. He has some hero cards in that deck somewhere, but these are going to be his villain cards. He's going to have this stack here with his picture on the back. These are going to be shuffled up and set off to the side. And these are going to be shuffled up and randomly dealt around the locations, covering up those nice end of turn effects. Here you can see this one requires you to lay down 4 heroic symbols. And there's some negative effect here. As long as Magneto is in this or adjacent locations, he can't be damaged. So if you leave this there, and even if you can hit Magneto, if you've left this location out, then he's invincible. Some of the villains also have henchmen that come with them. So technically there are miniatures, I believe, for most of these. I'm not 100% sure if there's a Mastermind miniature, but I know there's a Scarlet Witch, I know there's a Quicksilver, I know there's a Blob. But these are not meant to have miniatures on them. But they are like little henchmen that don't move around the board, but if you're in their location and a BAM comes up, then they're going to do something to you, and they have a small amount of health. So you would put a little stack of health tokens on them and remove them. So those sit on the locations, and then these cards get dealt out. And you can see that they're randomly, he pretty much only puts out henchmen. Interesting. This is going to tell you how he moves. In this case, 0. He's going to do his BAM effect, and anybody else is going to do their BAM effect. And then he's going to put out 3 thugs. This being the location he's at. The little target location is his. So his location and the 2 adjacent ones. Here he's going to move 1, He's appearing to move clockwise the entire time. And here are some special ones unique to him. So all villains are going to have cards that look like this. Some of them do put out bystanders as well as thugs. And then each one of them have unique cards like this. Until the next villain turn, cancel all special effects on hero cards, and Magneto and his henchmen ignore the first damage each hero turn. I mean, that's a brutal card. So that's just a quick look at the hero card, the villain cards. And again, each villain has one of those. All right. So while I pack up this box as quickly as I can, I'll just give you guys the close-up of the hero miniatures here. So, up next, I quite want to just start throwing things around. This is the normal part of unboxings that you don't see when it's not live. All right. This giant box that barely fits in my frame here. I'm going to go ahead and do these two guys. These are Kickstarter exclusives if you did the Uncanny pledge. Basically, you're getting Old Man Logan and Mohawk Storm. There should be, hopefully, 2 blank spots in this stretch goal box for them. So there is the Old Man Logan miniature. And like I said, we're going to see just Logan, period, and another one. And then again, he's got his own set of cards here. At least one starting hand card. So there's that one. And then Mohawk Storm. See, does she? Yep, she gets a starting hand, and here is her miniature. Okay. So now I'm going to do my best to get this box lid off. This stretch goal box is basically like an entire layer taller than the original game's stretch goals. So let's set that off to the side for now and just take a look at who all is in here. So again, we're getting hero cards, villain cards in here. I believe there's going to be some purple people in here, a whole bunch of cards, and a few unique tokens. Even looks like some unique thugs here. I'm not sure who all these go to, and this can like negate a BAM effect. But yeah, so we have all these unique tokens. Let's take a look at the cards here and who we've got. So these are this is just the villains. I don't know if you guys can see how many we've got here. This is really just the villains that are in this stretch goal box. So we've got Arcade, Avalanche, the Brood Queen, Callisto, Dark Phoenix, Deathbird, Emma Frost, Lady Deathstrike, Legion, Moreau, Mastermind. Okay, so we do have a Mastermind. So we could literally probably play against Magneto. Mojo. So here you can see Mojo has this tracking thing where you're going to use like that little metal cube. I didn't show it off, but it's just a little cube to track what he's doing here. And I guess if you got to the end, Namor, Omega Red, Onslaught, Sauron. Anybody else play Mage Knight? Isn't the winged pterodactyl in Mage Knight also called Sauron? Wonder who stole from who. Or maybe I'm just remembering things wrong. Shadow King, Silver Samurai, Spiral. Again here, there's some tracking that needs to take place. Ooh, Spiral has this real crazy board. Team versus team mode. Wow. And then for these three, this is similar to Sinister Six, Toad, Blob, and Pyro. These guys, to my knowledge, always have to play together. They're not strong enough to just be villains by themselves. But that's a unique, fun game. Okay. So that is all of card content. Let's pull out this box. All right. So, I'm just gonna kind of pick and choose some of these to go up here on this larger screen. Again, if there's somebody you would like to see specifically, let me know. Like Brood Queen, Sauron here. You can just show him on the main camera. Who else we have here? Avalanche. Here is, like, here's Pyro. So basically what they did here for any fire, and you can see that on the Dark Phoenix here. Anytime they used fire, they have this clear, clearish orange resin, I guess. Here's Toad. Let's put some other guys up here. Some of these big fellas here with lots of nice detail. The Brood Queen. And who else can we throw up here? The Shadow King. Here's the Blob. So yeah, these three are the ones that always play together. Man, I'm going to have a heck of a time remembering where all these go. I did not see a... Okay, good. The back of that cardboard box looks like this, and it tells you how each tray goes. So, appreciate that for certain. Yeah, and this also tells me the names, so I should keep this handy. Let's see who we got here. Onslaught and the Brood Queen. What else do we have here? Omega Red and Silver Samurai. Arcade. He's kind of a funny guy. Avalanche. Deathbird. Lady Deathstrike. Alright, let's see if we can get these guys back in their proper spot. This was Mojo. I don't really remember Mojo very much. There we go, Mojo. Brood Queen back in here. Onslaught. And Shadow King. Alright, so now we have some of our kind of, you know, can go either way. So you've got Legion, Emma Frost, Marrow, Spiral, and Namor. So you see Namor has like this unique clear base because he's coming up out of the water, which is going to make this miniature incredibly difficult to prime. I don't know how. I'm going to have to look up to see how other people are doing that one. We can throw these guys up here. So those guys, again, they are going to come with hero cards and villain cards. So you're getting, you know, twice the amount out of the money there. So here we have, okay, this is just a blank spot. Fire Streak. Again, they're using fire here. And again, I'm going to have to figure out how to prime this miniature to paint her. Here's Multiple Man. So he actually gets multiple figures on his miniature. That's cool. Who else we got here? Strong Guy. Strong Guy and Boom Boom. Who else is really fun? Mirage. Warlock. Real funky guy. Sunspot. So yeah, Blink. I've never heard of Blink. Don't know any Blinks. But there's that tray. Let's get these guys back in here as quickly as possible. Spiral's got a lot of swords. And there we are. And then our last tray here. This is the two spots for the miniatures in those separate boxes. This guy's like a little pet that goes along with somebody here. Lockheed. Who does Lockheed belong to? I know he's somebody's pet, but I'm pretty sure it's not Nightcrawler's. Is it Kitty Pryde's pet? Do these two guys go together? I do like Kitty Pryde's miniature here. She's like going through the wall. So let's pick out some of the fun ones here. We've got Gwenpool. We'll put her over here. She is, you know, female Deadpool, I guess. Who else we got here? Sasquatch. He's a fun one. Put Sasquatch up here. And Cloak. Where's Cloak and Dagger? Dagger's right next to him. So this, you know, supposedly, if you just put them right in front of each other, they are supposed to kind of line up. But I feel like this is a very missed opportunity to just kind of flatten this out and make them line up even more, because they, you know, work great as a team. And so we can set them up here like so, just so you can see. But yeah, I feel like that was a failed missed opportunity. Oh, look at this. So we have Weapon X. So this is going to be our fourth version of Wolverine, at least, if not more. Oops, bumping Cloak there. Who else is on here that's really exciting? Oh, the blob guy. What's the blob guy's name? Droop. Doop? Doop or Droop? Where there's regular Phoenix, not Dark Phoenix, but regular Phoenix, again with the really cool flames. I know that a lot of people have just completely like primed over that and then just repaint the flames, but I don't want to make work harder for myself. So Pixie. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff here. Puck. I don't know all of these guys. X-23, aka female Wolverine. So yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for the stretch goal box. Do I have any votes for what box you guys would like to see next? I realize this is not the proper way to store it, but we're just going to do this right now. All right. All right, if nobody has any specific votes here, I'm going to go with two boxes that I was personally excited about, and that is the blue team and gold team. These, in my opinion, are the X-Men that I fell in love with. Gambit was easily my favorite X-Men of all time. I loved Rogue too, their whole love back and forth thing there. Bishop, when Bishop came back in time, I thought that was just such a cool story arc. So we're going to take a look at these. So again, these are expansions. You will need a core box of some sort in order to play with these. You can't just buy these. This isn't like Disney Villainous, where even the small box expansions can be played on their own. But each one of these is going to bring a unique little twist, and obviously more miniatures that can be played in just the base game. For example, blue and gold team have the blue and gold bases, and you can play team versus team. So again, I'm not going to get too nitty gritty into the rules here. Somebody in here has got the negative BAM effect. Let's look at the locations. So Hellfire Club building, Limbo, Krakoa, and Chandalar, the Shihar Empire. Okay. Got some tokens here. We've got some villain dashboards. Well, just one. So you can see here we've got one villain, and then the, which one did I do? This is the gold team. So here is Sebastian Shaw. He is the villain. And again, you could play Sebastian Shaw against anybody, or play anybody against Sebastian Shaw. You don't have to play him in the team versus team mode. His stuff should work. And I believe you can play any characters and turn them into blue team and gold team. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look into that. But, you know, I'm really excited for this one. So let's just quickly take a look at these miniatures here. This is Forge and Bishop. So two of my favorite X-Men from the future. There we go. Put those guys up there. And also we can put Iceman up here, similar to the fire, the ice and water. Iceman is completely clear, so I don't even need to paint him. I'm going to consider him done, just like that. Here is Sebastian Shaw. Archangel, nice big presence on his miniature. And yeah, he went in like that. And Colossus. Some rings. Looks like they have a... Nope, those aren't going to fit in there. I wonder what's supposed to go in there. Just real quick. Little self... what's the term? Self-appreciation? No, that's not it. I'm just curious to see what Forge and Bishop's kind of unique cards look like. So I'm actually going to dig into this deck here. Again, we're not going to do this for every expansion, don't worry. So here's Forge. Oh, Bishop does get a starting card. Oh, I like that little logo, kind of rainbowish. So Forge has Intuitive Genius. This turn for each turns into a double. And Spirit Sight. Pick another location this turn. You may use blank and blank there. Okay. And let's just see what Bishops look like here. He gets a starting card that says, as long as this card is face up in the storyline, you cannot take any damage dealt from adjacent locations. That's cool. So again, not great for the team, not great starting card, but great for him in the long run. Energy Absorption, gain 1 token. You may ignore 1 damage until the beginning of your next turn. And that's it. So, not as cool as I would have liked to have been. No time traveling going on here, which is a little disappointing. Alright, so that is going to do it for... Iceman was down here. Bishop, that was Gold Team. In there. I'm curious, anybody in the chat, or if you're watching this later on, you can leave a comment below. How many of you keep all of the boxes? They got great artwork on them and just display the boxes because they're cool. And you like the included inserts, protect the miniatures. And how many of you who all says this is too much cardboard and combines everything into as few boxes as possible? I'm just curious. I'm on the team that has all my boxes displayed. But it does make for a lot of boxes, especially now. So this is Blue Team. They're going to have a lot of the same stuff because you could, again, only get Blue Team and play Team versus Team mode with using other characters. Excalibur Lighthouse, the Savage Land, Madripoor, Mojoverse. Okay. Mr. Sinister, he is a classic. Again, another Blue Team, Gold Team. Mr. Sinister, heroes without DNA sample tokens treat all special effects on their cards as blank. Alright, he's a nasty fella. So, like I said before, Gambit here, he is one of my all-time favorites. This is a really cool sculpt with the cards flying out of his hand. And Rogue here. Always loved Rogue. So these guys I'm like so on. Jubilee, I do like Jubilee too. She's always a fun one. So we'll put those 3 guys up here. Here is Banshee. That's a pretty cool sculpt there. Definitely get the effect of him screaming at something. And Psylocke. And then here is Mr. Sinister. He's got a lot going on back here. This is cool. Lots of detail on his cloak. So yeah, there you go. I'm not going to dive into these cards. Although I will be curious as to see what Gambit's cards look like, since he You know, that's his little sketch, is charging cards and throwing them at people. But we need to keep this train moving because I don't want this live stream to take forever. Alright, so that is, that's blue team box. So let's see, what should we look at next? Go ahead and just look at the big one, the other big one. This one is easily twice as big as the other expansions because these are the big boys, the Sentinels. This is our other, at least now, fifth Wolverine character. This is regular Logan, not Old Man Logan. So yeah. So these guys have a special setup here if you're playing Days of Future Past. So this is, I believe, like a little mini campaign you can play. I can't remember if this one is. I know Dark or Rise of the Phoenix or Phoenix 5 is one, but these Sentinels here can be added to any game to make them more difficult, to make the game more difficult. There's just one more thing you have to deal with. I don't believe you have to take them down to be successful, but they're really going to be a huge pain otherwise. So here is, because I'm pretty sure these Sentinels are not going to fit on my screen here. Here's Logan and Nimrod. Yeah, and then here are the big boys. So, I mean, these sculpts are massive. It's like, fills up my whole palm there. Each one is unique in sculpt, and so each sculpt has its own special powers, so you could mix it up, and even though you're adding a Sentinel, you may not know which one you're playing against if you just kind of randomly add them in there. So there you go. These things are heavy, not too heavy, but definitely have some heft to them. So that's exciting. There's this well right here for something, but I didn't see any tokens. I wonder what is supposed to go there. I don't know if you can see too that Nimrod's got this like clear resin going on here around him. So yeah, I wonder what goes there. That's interesting. So that was a quick one. Oh, here we go. These tokens. Forgot about those. That must be what goes there. Alright. Days of Future Past in the books. What's next? What would people be most excited for next? Let's just check on our Wolverine count here. Are we going to have another Wolverine? Possibly not. I don't see him on the cover here. There's Non-Blue Beast. So this is like, you know, the original X-Men. Pretty sure they made a movie about that recently. There's also this Danger Room. You can add this to a location, I believe, or maybe it's its own location off to the side. Anyways, this X-Men First Class comes with these training cards, which are unique and allow you to kind of upgrade your character during the course of the game and make them a little bit more powerful. So I thought that was a nice touch. That's like this expansion's kind of thing. So Island M, Cape Citadel, and Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, which must be different than the Xavier's School for something we saw earlier. So here is Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. In the original Marvel United game, they were good guys. In this game, they are bad guys. And they go together. They are brother sister. They can't be separated. So there you go. Each one has their own unique BAM effect. And I'm guessing, here, we'll take a look at their cards here. So who do we have here? Pretty sure that's Iceman, Angel, Beast. That must be Cyclops and Jean, right? No, Marvel Girl. Isn't that basically Jean? So yeah, no Wolverine, first class. So let's throw some of these. And Iceman is not all blue, which is slightly disappointing. So yeah, let's throw some of these guys up there while we look at these cards real quick. All right. So I'm just curious as to see, here's the training cards. So for example, this one says discard all movement symbols at the bottom of the card you're currently playing, valid as long as it's in the storyline. Interesting. See, I think adding the danger room and the training cards is a way to reduce the amount of difficulty. So make the game a little bit easier. Personally, I'm not a fan of the whole like color scheme and outfits of first class. Rather boring to me. That was like before my time. Not quite old enough for that. So here are the location effects. They're not, don't appear to be too interesting, the threat cards, but these, okay, it appears that each time, each one of them is moving. Okay, but occasionally there's some that it's just Quicksilver. Their special cards are just them. And then otherwise each one is moving. Okay, and then they're only putting down at one person's location. And it appears to always be Quicksilver's location. So there you go. That is a quick look at how the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver work together for X-Men First Class. Angel, Cyclops, and Marvel. This thing's got to go in here. That thing, Iceman's tokens, I'm assuming. Some locations, some instructions. And there we go. So that is X-Men First Class. If you were just joining, we have made it through the core box. We have made it through now the stretch goal box, blue team, red team, Days of Future Past, and X-Men First Class. If there's a specific one remaining that you'd like to see, let me know. I think at this point, let's just do Fantastic Four. If there is a specific miniature you'd like to see close up, let me know. If there's a specific card you'd like to be able to read in more detail, let me know. Ooh, there's lots of fun resin colors in this one. Actually, it's not resin, I'm almost certain. I wonder how they do the clear, the different color plastics. Doom, Dr. Doom. He is a great villain. So you can see here's his villain board. And a Super Skrull. So Dr. Doom again is purple. So he can play as a hero or a villain. Super Skrull not so much. But we have the Baxter Building. Latveria. I think this means that you have to stop at this location. You can't pass through it. 4 Yancey Street. Mount Wundagore. Okay, not exactly familiar with all of those. But here's Dr. Doom. He's got the Doom bots that are going to be spreading around. So again, kind of like a unique thug. Latveria must be the villain's starting location. Okay, don't place a threat card in Latveria. Replace all starting thugs in it with Doombots. Doombots are treated as thugs for all game effects. Supervillain. heroes starting tokens. Supervillain heroes. We don't need to be giving them anything extra, and that's just the setup here. So lots of stuff going on with the Super Scroll. And here you can see deal 1 damage to each hero in Doom's location, plus 1 damage to each hero in locations with a Doom bot, then increase the Doom track by 2, so if the Doom track reaches 20, you lose. So there you go. And then we have the Fantastic Four. So to my knowledge, these guys really work together as a team. So we'll probably take a look at some of these special Fantastic Four cards here. Let's put some of these guys up on display here. Like Silver Surfer. And I mean, he's got like multiple colors going on. Here's the Human Torch. And Mrs. Fantastic, or the Invisible Woman, who's turning half invisible. And who else do we want here? Let's throw up, I'll throw up Dr. Doom. A lot of people are looking forward to Dr. Doom. We'll show these guys off too here real quick. So here is the Thing. He should be pretty easy to paint. He's basically just one color plus his loincloth. And then Mr. Fantastic. Very skinny Mr. Fantastic. Wonder if they make brick color in contrast or speed paints. Alright, let's take a look at these Fantastic Four cards to see how this whole teamwork stuff works. Okay, it's just this one. What is this? What does that mean? Obviously, I have not read the instructions, but let's just take a quick look at these two here. These two obviously should work well together. So, as long as this card is face up in the storyline when the top card of the Master Plan deck is revealed, you may choose not to take any damage, as long as this card is face up in the storyline during your turn. So yeah, those don't really do anything together. See about this one. Perform action is the same type as all tokens on the Fantastic Four card. Ah, so that must be what it is. You can put tokens on this card. I don't know why it's different colors. Yeah, you can place tokens up there, then add one move token from the pool to the Fantastic Four card. Okay, that's what it is. You're placing those tokens that we discussed earlier. Yeah, movement. Then add a wild token. Okay. You're taking tokens, adding them to this card off to the side, and then that those tokens can be used. Looks like they don't necessarily go away either when you use them, which is cool. All right. There's that. Here's this, and this, and this, and this. Can't get the chat going. All right. So we still have Deadpool, X-Force, Horseman of the Apocalypse, and Phoenix 5. Let's take a look at Deadpool. Alright, welcome to the Madhouse. Man, mandatory effects. He basically has his own board, 2 villain dashboards, special setup, lots of random stuff going on here. Villainous plot. Deadpool can't be defeated. Point ever. Heroes can't win the game. Never. Yes, this is cheating. So Deadpool is both. Let's take a look here. Got a lot of stuff going on. We've got a cube randomly floating around here. Deadpool's apartment. End of turn. There is nothing other than your hero here. You may relax with your feet on the couch and draw 2 cards. Bob, Agent of Hydra, as a villain. Okay, so I'm kind of confused as to how Deadpool here works, because we've got this crazy version of Deadpool. Deadpool riding a unicorn. And we've got Bob, Agent of Hydra, who is purple. And if I put them side by side, you'll notice that the colors are not the same. And then we've got, okay, so we do have just a straight red Deadpool. So Deadpool as the villain. And then Deadpool as the good guy with his crazy gun. And this is Lady Deadpool. So there's Gwen Deadpool and Lady Deadpool. Not to be confused with one another. So yeah, there you go. I'm definitely going to have to review the rules on that one. I don't really quite remember. I'm going to stick this right here for right now. Remember how Deadpool was supposed to work. But that's fine. We'll figure it out. Yeah, she must go there. I'll also have to look and see why he's a different color purple than everybody else. If you know, please let me know in the comment section below or the chat. Okay, so funky enough, this one goes. That doesn't feel right. Oh, yeah, okay. There's a slot for it then. But then this goes out here. No? This goes here. Very strange. Let's see, why couldn't they have created a little cutout for this? Yeah, doesn't look like they did. That's just supposed to sit up there. All right. So that is Deadpool. We are on the home stretch here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to X-Force. This has got some of the other guys similar to Bishop and Forge. That's Cable. And what is her name? Her name is Domino. That's right. Okay, so we have Strife in this box. Dark Riders. Supervillain. Okay, a box of cards. This doesn't appear to be like this one offers much of any type of unique gameplay effect. This might be the first one. Let's just take a look here. Hazardous Locations Challenge. The Hazardous Locations Challenge makes the play area even more dangerous, forcing heroes to carefully consider whether it's worth it to clear a threat only to deal with the location's intrinsic menace. Okay, we've seen this before, but I guess maybe all of these locations we're about to see here have that effect. So let's throw some of these guys up here. Here's Strife. Here is Cable. Not as cool as Bishop, but he's getting there. And let's see, Shatter Strike. And what was this? Yeah, Cannonball, just Cannonball. And Domino. Okay, so let's take a look at these locations, because this appears to be where the uniqueness of this expansion falls. Okay, Murder World. Definitely not one you want to hang out at. The Adirondack Mountains gives you a nice benefit. This one here, though, and you can see that this is in white. This has kind of got a dark background. End of turn, you must discard one card. You must discard one action token. You must add to this location. That was the Murdoch Tunnels, Strafe's Secret Base, and Murder World. So yeah, negative Nancy locations. That's what X-Force brought to the table. So far, probably the least, the expansion I'm excited the least about. Just being honest here. Most of my excitement is revolved around characters or unique gameplay elements. Like, I'm very curious about the whole Deadpool mechanic and cheating and all that stuff. Figuring out why he is an odd shade of purple. This one is just okay. But if you're really into Cable and Domino and that team, the X-Force team, then maybe this is the expansion for you. That's what I always try and tell people. If you're only picking up like the base game and a few expansions, just go for what characters you're most excited about. Who will you be most excited to play? So here is Welcome to the Apocalypse. So these guys, again, similar to the Sinister Six, are going to all come out together. Apocalypse can be played as both good and bad. So famine, war, pestilence, and death. I'm trying to remember who all these guys. This is. He brought Angel back. Famine. I feel like I should have known who Famine was. Anyways, these are all people brought back from the dead. But we've got some negative locations here. While in this location, the villains ignore 1 damage in each hero turn. You must discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. And the Starlight Citadel. Once the first mission is completed, heroes may at any time replace this location with any other location not already in play. Move everything from this location to the new one. Alright. Here is Apocalypse's with his Apocalypse track. And then here are, let's get the 4 horsemen up there. These are pretty cool sculpts because there's each one of them is riding something. Kind of like these mechanized dinosaur type things. Except for Death here. For Archangel. aka Death. He doesn't need a horse. And here is Apocalypse. He is a classic villain. Let's just take a look and see how these guys' villain cards look. So this would be if Apocalypse, you were playing with him as a hero card, but that's not what we came for. We came for these guys here. So it would appear that interesting. So it's almost like you can play against Death as his own character. So here's these: Famine, War, Pestilence, and Death. 2-sided, weakened, and regular. So you gotta kill them twice. Alright. Here is his starting master plan card. Let's see what else he's got here in his deck. So you basically he's telling specific ones to do something, or the first 2 available, or he doesn't mess with them at all. And then there's these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would appear Horseman of the Apocalypse, the Shredding Chaos. Okay, so maybe these are the actual location threat cards and the other ones just sit off to the side. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. And then each one has their own little deck. Man. Good gracious. Not cool. Definitely looks like a difficult expansion to play against. So, if you're interested in seeing that on the channel, please let me know. Otherwise, it might be a little while before I got to that one. All right. One more box. It's not too bad. I told myself definitely not going over 2 hours for this stream, and we're going to come in at about an hour and a half, maybe even a little less. All right. See how they gave this little cube its own spot? Why didn't they do that for others? I see this one has got these need to be underneath here. Again, see, I can never figure out which way all this stuff is supposed to go. Underneath or on top of the plastic. Why can't they just make it consistent? Oh. Ah, look for the cube. There we go. This goes in there. These appear to fit kind of, but not really, right there. And again, this just kind of sits on top. All right, last but not least, we have Phoenix 5. So this one, pretty sure, this is going to have another Namor. Good guy Namor, I guess. This is going to be the campaign. Players undertake a series of games taking on each of the Phoenix 5. If the heroes lose a game, the campaign immediately ends with their defeat. If they win a game, they move on to fight the next villain who grows in power. Okay, how far into the campaign the heroes are able to go will be the mark of their success. Only the best can hope to defeat the fifth and final villain with the full power of the Phoenix 5. So it looks like we get another Emma Frost, along with bad guy Cyclops, bad guy Colossus, bad guy Magic, and bad guy Namor. I thought we already got a bad guy Namor. Anyways, so the campaign should be cool. It's like little mini villain dashboards. Alright, there's those. And then some miniatures. Let's throw Hope Summers up there. We don't want to be left out. Alright, and we'll just show you Colossus right here. So again, the thing with Phoenix 5 is the campaign mode. Not sure if you're going to be able to play against, throw any 5 villains in there or not. That's interesting. I believe that if you use Hope as one of your heroes, she makes playing the little campaign more easier because she can grow in power as well. I think there's a reason why she's in this box. Did she go there? No, Namor was right here. And who else did we have? You were there. You were right here. Cyclops was just right there. Yeah, that must be where she was. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Again, this is just the unboxing. So, if there is a specific expansion or character you would like to see on the channel in a gameplay video and playthrough video, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer those. For those of you that did join me, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please